Hey folks, my name's Ed Travers. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I'm an Anglican priest serving in the beautiful parish of St. Margaret of Scotland that sits on the ancestral and on the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Gwe. So I made mention that it's been a really busy week. Well, tonight, and it's kind of late as I record this, I wanted to share with you one of the blessings that I had this week. One of the true honors that was bestowed upon me this week. I buried a young woman. Her name was Kasey. She's 32 years old. Now I know, everybody's thinking, wow, that's really young. Well, Kasey was born with something called Aicardi syndrome. Now, Aicardi syndrome means that, well, her life expectancy was about 14 years. She made it to 32. She was never able to walk. She was never able to talk. She was never able to take care of herself. She was never able to wash herself or clean herself or feed herself, clothe herself. She needed help to do everything. As a matter of fact, she spent 30 of her 32 years in assisted living, where she had 24-hour-a-day care. When I asked her family about her and what she was like, they said, wow, she was like sunshine. She was just filled with joy. She was filled with joy. She appreciated every single moment. And it was a visceral kind of appreciation. As I said, she couldn't talk. It wasn't that she was saying thank you. It was that she was displaying her gratitude in a way that only she could. She would literally bounce and dance, and she'd be, her hands would start moving. The joy would be erupting from her. It was contagious and infectious, and you couldn't help. I was told you couldn't help but feel it. I asked her dad how she recognized him. See, on top of all the other things, Kasey was born virtually blind, and due to the Aicardi syndrome, only had the capacity of someone that was about 6 months old, the family told me. So I was curious how she knew Dad was visiting. He said, well, the days I visited, he wouldn't shave, and he would take her hand and put it up to his chin, up to his cheek, and she'd feel the scruff. And when she felt the scruff, she would move her hand down to his neck, because he has a scar. She'd move her hand down to his neck, and the minute she came across that scar, she erupted in that joy of hers. She'd just dance in her seat, make her noise, touch everything, just becoming excited. Now, her dad said it. He was never certain if it's because she actually recognized him as Dad or recognized him as the person who was bringing Smarties for her. If you don't know what Smarties are, Smarties here in Canada, they're a tiny little candy-coated chocolate. They're delicious. As I was thinking about Kasey and what I wanted to share with you, is how they felt when Kasey recognized them. How Dad felt when Kasey recognized him, and how Dad felt when she touched that scar, when she touched his cheek, touched the scar, and immediately understood who this person was and how happy she was to be in this person's presence. As I've been thinking about this, and I've been thinking about the stress in life, and I've been thinking about the worries, and I think about the strain, and I think about the work, and all the things that we are called to do. That's how I want to greet people. That's how I want to greet my friends when I find myself in their presence. No more of this laid back, play it cool thing. No more of this, smooth, well, it's good to see you. No. I want to show them how excited I am. I want to show them how much joy I feel when I am in their presence. I want them to know that they are wanted. I want them to know that they are desired. I want them to know that I love them. I want them to almost be embarrassed by the amount of love I am bestowing upon them. I want to do the same for my kids. When I see them, I want to hug them, I want to smile, I want to laugh, I want to squeeze, I want to kiss. I want to do this for the people that I love. I want everyone to know the joy I feel because of them. I want the people of my church to know how much joy I feel being in their presence. Not because I'm trying to manipulate them. No, I want them to know it because I want them to know how precious they are. I want them to know how important they are. I want them to know how wonderful I believe them to be. I want them to know that I love them. This is the one of the many blessings that I've received from Kasey's family, were the stories that they told me about Kasey, and this part of her story in particular tonight. What's stopping us? What's stopping us from loving so physically? With consent and in the appropriate place. But what stops us? What stops us from loving people so physically? What stops us from gushing all over the folks that we know and love? What stops us from telling our friends and family how deeply enamored we are with them, showing them the joy that we feel when we come into contact with them? It is good to see you. It is good to be here with you. Oh my God, I've missed you so much. But it was only yesterday that you saw me. And I know, and that's too long. What stops us from just letting it go? I want to be like Kasey. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you. May you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. I love you. I am so grateful that you are here. I am so grateful that we get to spend time together. I am so grateful for your thoughts and your prayers that you've directed towards me. I love you. I can't wait to see you again. Amen. Nemultus.